Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? I thought I knew all the ones that had been issued. And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
It's mine. I was issued one after all. Must have misplaced it.
All right. I'll believe you this once. I've got to be wary. That desert gang of outlaws is always trying to find ways to get by me. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately, and Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here, until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. They pass.
What's happening in the city?
Nothing right now, but it's simmering. You can feel it. There was something building even before we let those Alp separatists in here. They just lit the touch paper. But hey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary, so someone decided to open the gates and let the separatists in.
How many separatists are there in the city?
Too many. Once an Alb, always an Alb. They still hit ELEX. It's just a matter of time before they turn back. I don't know what they want in the city. I'd heard a bunch of them had set up a base in the west of Abessa, so they could have gone there. If we weren't so busy here, we'd have tracked them down and cleared them out of Abessa. Last thing we need is Zakor thinking we're harboring rebels.
You mentioned the Council of Magalan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
You shouldn't stand around talking about these things.
Keep your hands off my machines. Any accidents are gonna be dangerous for me, you, and the whole city. The energy regulators are screwed. The surge gauge is failing and I can't see why. And now the shield profiler is returning a really strange set of values. Altogether, that makes for one dangerous set of problems that could fry both of us if the wrong bit of kit gets jolted. And I'm the one who has to fix all this. Ah, shit, I can't even sort out the replacement parts until I have this stabilized.
I can get the replacement parts for you.
You would? Well, okay, yeah. That would give me time to stop this from going... You'll need to go to Eric to fetch them for me. But Do me a favor and don't take forever in getting them here, alright? Maintenance is always better than repair.
Tell me about the city.
Right, well, where to start? First off, a lot of people are avoiding the north of the city. This place always has something going on, but right now, there's really something brewing. That means the north isn't exactly welcoming unless you're a thug. The western section's safer. You're okay there as long as you don't break the law or look funny or say something the clerics don't like. The southern part, well, that is really quiet. Nothing really happens there, but wherever you are, you should know the clerics are watching. Alois, he runs this place and he hates thieves and beggars and trouble causers and pretty much anyone. He thinks he's God's messenger or something, and that means he's got one big old stick up his ass. So don't piss him off. If you ignore anything else, don't ignore that advice. Don't piss off the clerics. There now, you are fully informed.
We'll talk later, yeah? Another time, yeah?
Not now.
We have nothing to talk about.
You should talk to someone else. I can't help you.
Nah.
It is not efficient for us to talk.
Yeah? Not now.
Hey, you. You don't have any broken energy weapons, chainswords, or anything like that? That sort of thing is my business. So if you find any, bring them to me. I'll give you good prices for them.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
You think it's better here?
Yes, for sure. For me, at least. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
Who is this berserker that's giving you trouble?
Brabeck. A bull of a man and twice as ugly. Bone-breaking bastard.
About Brabeck. Where can I find Brabeck?
He's usually near the inn. Just follow your nose. If it smells like piss, you found him.
Leave Brabeck to me.
You'll deal with him? That would be great, really great. You won't find me trying to put you off that. If you think you can scare him off so he leaves me alone, that would be good. Even if I do, I think ramming a knife into his guts would be a better approach. I would have tried that myself, but if I'd failed... But if you do get rid of him, however you do it, then I will pay you.
Let's trade.
Okay.
If even half of that is true. Maybe later.
There have been so many patrols that got themselves in trouble recently.
Hey, the Raptors are pretty fierce.
Standing. Oh yeah?
The mechs that went into Abessa pretty much killed that whole party. I have to go.
Huh. What do we have here? Fresh meat?
You would better not mean that literally.
Go on, growl again. Growl. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Kalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem. Seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right, and that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the Separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards, and that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who can enter and leave the city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Did you lose something?
Now's not the time, all right?
I have to go.
So, you come here from Goliath?
Not now.
Goliath? No. I was exiled to the valley before I came here.
Not now.
But I hid myself in a crate and got brought up in the lift.
You escaped in a crate?
Yeah.
Why even
those
waste time
idiots had
thinking
no
about it?
idea I was in there. I waited till they were busy with the next one, slipped out, and I
Maybe
was gone.
later.
You got lucky.
That was it.
I don't have any time right now.
Carry on.
Get something to drink first.
If they don't take action, we're...
Now's not the time, all right?
You want to cross him? You're crazy.
Have we got enough guards on duty? It never feels like we
Most
have
of them
enough.
annoy me. All of them annoy me. I have to go.
Ah, the gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant? Bounty hunter? Or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm not in a faction.
Well, guess you're one lonely son of a bitch then, aren't you? Here, before you start begging for help, consider it a gift from the Duke. You gave me enough that I can share.
Thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank the Duke. If you end up in the desert in Tavar, you can thank him in person by joining the Outlaws.
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
I don't smoke.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
What business?
Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right, if there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you You want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. Now, I can see in your eyes that you haven't fallen for the cleric's tricks. You aren't simple enough to believe every piece of troll shit you're fed.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon, while Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
So, what do you think? Should we get involved here?
Don't worry, there's no getting involved. You shouldn't have any trouble finding something out.
How many shards are you talking about?
Enough. The Duke is generous. I pay. That much you can be sure of.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
It is not efficient for us to talk.
Yeah? Not now.
Ugh. I got that taste in my mouth again like I bit into a bowl of ashes.
Not now.
Another time, yeah?
It is not efficient for us to talk.
Yes,
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
What's wrong with you? Have I done something to piss you off?
Call it experience, but those in need and those willing to help don't normally question my motives.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to defuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me, try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of ELEX, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? ELEX marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took ELEX in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed ELEX in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the ELEX you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know ELEX and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I changed my mind.
Excellent.
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
I've heard that before.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to pay.
We need to sort things out another time.
Nah. You think you know what's going on? Hey, no one knows what's going on.
Hey, it's you.
Yes, Fink. It's me, Jax.
I heard they shot you down, that you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to ELEX. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here. We are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
You betrayed all that you were. I don't want anything to do with you.
I know who you were, Commander. But look at you now. Drained of ELEX, out of Zakor. You can deny it to yourself as long as you want. But at some point, the truth will catch up with you. You are one of us, an Alb, out of Zakor, with no way back. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. Even if your emotions are already starting to cloud your judgment, you must see the logic. We must bring people together. It's the only way we will survive.
What goods have you got? It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
Albs who have become refugees in your own war.
This isn't our war. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
Do you need help?
First you reject us, and then you offer help? You have become fickle since you stopped taking ELEX. Very well. Let me tell you what we need. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and Jorg. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and Jorg?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
That is the response I wanted. It is good that you changed your mind. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
I've heard that before.
What do you want from me? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an Alb myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking ELEX. That is rare. Which makes me question how you did it. May logic guide you.
Not now.
I heard he was trading illegally. No wonder he got in trouble.
Did someone tell you? I don't have any time right now.
Enough of that is true. Maybe later.
Hey, you!
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
Why do you ask?
I'm interested. We're cut off here under the dome, safe from the world outside. So they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignidons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it. Then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignidon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulators sound dangerous.
Of course they are. Outside of frying yourself if you try to adjust them. If we were attacked right now, the whole dome would go critical.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? So, let's find out who you are. You should go to Ignadon one day. You could be a good cleric. Yeah, I know, I left Ignadon behind, but they could offer you better training than I could. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
About the broken energy regulators. How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
Am I crazy? Or is our generator power fluctuating?
Not
The
now.
B-series was never very reliable, you know that.
Why are we still working with batteries and crap?
Ask the technicians.
Parts, repair skills, blah.
Not now. Take your business elsewhere.
What is it you want?
Who are you?
You first. Come on. Who are you? There is something that is familiar about you, but I can't quite place it. No matter, I suppose. All people are welcome in Abessa, as long as they are prepared to forget their past. Even Albs are allowed in here. I think Albs would be perfect people if they weren't so emotionless. But then, that is why they are the only faction I have never belonged to.
How did you end up with the clerics?
That's a long story. If you're really interested in my tale, then I will tell you, of course.
A traitor to many causes, or a heroine to all. We should see what she has to say.
As you wish.
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliad in Adan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Jar ruled over Goliad. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magdalene is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Idan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then... I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the Reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Eden, but there wasn't the same raptor shit, the laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
Why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the Reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the fort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
What are you doing here, Bessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. When I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance. Which I'm having to do quite a lot, with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I guess I'll have to keep asking round. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job. But I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your candidates.
Great. The 4 names I have are Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about him I don't trust. But speak to each of them, and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
About the candidates for technician.
Yes?
Tell me about Naira.
Naira is an Alb separatist, so a bit of a long shot for loyalty. But she should have the technical ability we need. She's somewhere in the west of the city with the other separatists, in the slums.
You want to employ a separatist as a technician?
We need someone, and I don't think your faction always says who you are. Albs are usually very good with technology, but you're right. I don't know if we can trust her.
Tell me about Daryl.
Daryl is an outlaw. He's applied to be a technician, but I don't know why. So I want to know his motives and what his technical experience is. I'm hoping you can get that information. If he's skilled and trustworthy, then employing him might show that we do trust outlaws here. But I don't know that much about him. I don't even know where to find him.
What do you know about Rorik?
Rorik is a berserker. I think I last saw him somewhere around Vito's pub. It might seem weird to consider a berserker, but I was one once. And I know Rorik used to work extracting ELEX from machines in Goliath, so he knows about technology. And I think I could teach him everything else that he needs to know. And it would show that we were reaching out to the berserkers who have come to the Dome City. Their magic is very powerful, and they're strong warriors. We will need their help if the elves attack us from Zakor. But it'll be important to find out if he's prepared to have anything to do with technology before we think of offering him the job. I have to go.
Find someone else to talk to.
I'm sorry. Unless this is official business, you can move on.